Welcome back. Pastoral communities around the country are greatly affected by the effects of drought year in, year out. On our show today, we are still in Narok visiting a beef farmer whose cattle seem unaffected by the harsh effects of the famine. Water, like they say, is life. According to nominated Member of Parliament David Ole Sankok, most pastoral communities migrate mostly not due to lack of pastures, but water. During rainy seasons, runoff water escapes through rivers and eventually into the ocean, leaving behind a sorry state of severe soil erosion. Before long, the rains are gone and the land is left bare under the mercy of the scorching sun. Sankok explains how he has managed to trap this runoff resource.
Of course, we are in one of the water pond. We have 4 of them. As you can see, there are others, and they have water. So if farmers can come together, even if you have a small chunk of land, then you can combine, probably as a society, and then you can fence and contribute to have a water pond. Some of these water ponds cost less than 100,000, 150,000 maximum to dig this water pond. I wonder what is happening with the billions of Aurora and other dams. But for us here, 100,000, you dig a very good dam. And because Kenya is full of a lot of runoff water, we can really tap on that, and our livestock will never lack water. You know, sometimes in northern Kenya, and even here in Masailand, we migrate not necessarily because of in search of pasture, but sometimes because of water. Some places have a lot of pasture, and you know, when they are dry, they are like hay, and they are even very healthy. They are more healthy than when they are green. So here, with a lot of dry grass, we will have migrated if we did not have this water pond, because already the rivers have dried up. You have seen River Wasongro, it's already dried up. From here to River Wasongro is around 15 kilometers. So if these cows could have been traveling all the way to River Wasongro, they will be losing a lot of weight, they will be emaciated, and you will never have quite good production. And then the calves will, of course, the growing rate will slow down. At the moment, a calf of 1 year, we can sell a minimum of 60,000, 80,000. When there are 3 years, I'm telling you, it's 100 and above. So because they just like zero grazing, only that they travel slowly while grazing.
The Mau Forest Complex is the most important water catchment in the Rift Valley and Western Kenya. Its forests provide critical environmental services to the country: fresh water provisioning, river flow regulation, flood mitigation, recharge of groundwater, erosion control, and water purification. The effects of this deforestation can clearly be felt by pastoral communities here in Narok County.
These rivers are drying because they are naked. There's a lot of operation happening because we no longer have forests along river valleys and so on. So the complaint is genuine that more forests have affected, the ozone layer have affected, but as Kenyans, we also need to plant trees. And that is why normally I wear green, just to try and educate Kenyans and to try and tell Kenyans, in my little way, let us make our country green. Let us plant trees, and let us know that we are our brother's keeper. All of us are in Kenya, not by default, but by destiny that God has put us together.
The human-wildlife conflict is an issue that the government and other stakeholders have been trying to solve for quite a while now. Most ranchers share their pastures with wildlife here in Narok, being the home of the famous Masai Mara Game Reserve. During the dry season, livestock have to compete for pastures with wildebeest, gazelles, and zebras that have been left behind during the migration to the neighboring Serengeti in Tanzania. Sankok explains how he has managed to solve this problem.
You know, that is the reason why we actually are fencing our land, because of the wildlife, especially the wildebeest. You see, there are so many of them. When they come into our lands, of course, they will cause overgrazing. We will not be able to control this wildlife. That is why in our private land, we are actually fencing. Why are we fencing? Not against other livestock keepers, but against the wild animals, the wildebeest, the zebras, the giraffes, and so on. But of course, if you go here, you'll find maybe 3 or 10 giraffes that are inside, and a few wildebeests and zebras that probably they were enclosed during fencing. So they are here and they are grazing with our livestock, and they have enough water. So, and there are diseases also when it comes to free range. When there are animals, wild animals, there are diseases that can be transferred from wild animals to our cows, our livestock, especially the wildebeest. When the wildebeest give birth and the cow graze on the amniotic fluid of the wildebeest, it automatically die. There is no reverse gear on that one. And also when the calf of the wildebeest, is probably shedding the birth hairs. If the animal feed on that birth hairs, when they are shedding the fur, the birth fur, then I'm assuring you that livestock will automatically die. We have been having those problems. Diseases like rinderpest and East Coast fever can cross from wildebeest or buffaloes to our livestock. So also this fencing controls such.
There are two main variants of beef cattle in the country. The first and most popular are the indigenous breeds like the Zebu and the Boran. The other types are exotic beef breeds. These include the Simento, Hereford, Angus, and Charolais. The livestock-rich North Rift region is seeking to tap the lucrative European Union market for its beef and other animal products. This is by ensuring that animals are healthy and meet the demands of the buyers. Kenyan beef and live animals are restricted from Europe because of diseases. Official data shows that livestock diseases rob the country of 24 billion shillings annually, attributed to reduced market access, decreased productivity, and deaths. Sankok explains how he has been able to make a niche in this market.
Market fluctuates, and that is what I've been able to let us make a lot of profits, because during January, February, or even this month, because of the delay of the rains, it is the time that the Maasai in Narok are cultivating their land. So most of them are selling cows to be able to cultivate their land. Typically in January it is a dry spell, so the cows are emaciated. Again, children are going back to school, some of them are starting secondary school, so a lot of money is needed at that particular time, yet the cows are emaciated. And again, the market is low because already festive season, December, people have finished their money, they have eaten a lot of meat, they have gone to hotels, so, and they are paid. Most of them, civil servants, are paid salary before 25th. So by January, they really don't have money. So you find that the market for the cows is low and the supply is high. So the prices for cows in January and February is normally very cheap. So if you buy at that particular time, you'll buy them very cheaply. They are emaciated, the market demand is low, the supply is high because the Maasai have to get money to take their children to school, to cultivate their land, and so on. And then incidentally, in August, the opposite is true. The cows have already had their long rains, it is short rain, so they are fat, they are healthy enough, and again the market is too high, the budget have already been read, so there is a lot of government activities in the hotels, they are eating a lot of meat, seminars here and there, because the budget is read at June. By July, money is disbursed to ministries, so on August, then the government activities are too high, so the market is high. Again, children are not going to school, there is tourism, so there is a lot of supply of money in terms of dollars inside Maasai land. So why should you sell a cow, yet you are receiving dollars from Wazungu, from the tourists? So you find that at that particular time, the market is high, the supply is low, because Maasais are not cultivating their land, they are not selling their cows because children are not going to school, they are getting a lot of money, so they withhold their cows. In fact, some of them are stocking. Incidentally, again on August, that is when we are now harvesting our wheat, our barley, our maize. So it's harvest season. So already we have money even to purchase as Maasai. So the market is for the Maasai, for the hotels, for the government ministries. So the market become very high, the demand become very high, and the supply is very low. So playing with that supply and demand curve, you can easily make a profit of 3 times the price that you bought a cow in January.
It is not known by many, but in the Ministry of Agriculture, there is a branch known as Livestock Development, which is charged with the marketing of livestock, especially those from the semi-arid and arid areas referred to as pastoral areas. The Livestock Division built holding yards for farmers to bring in their animals for auction. Butchers and other individuals converge in these holding yards to buy and resell the animals. Local slaughterhouses, which are specially constructed with all slaughter facilities, belong to local counties and authorities who lease them to butchers. Remember, a butcher is a licensed meat seller. Butchers can buy animals directly from the farmer and slaughter and sell to the customer through their butcheries. With the above techniques, and if followed and applied by beef farmers in Kenya, expect to earn and live better through beef farming. Be sure to join us next week, same time, for more insights on beef farming.